who has the drive to change. Being considered a high maintenance friend, I've been trying to figure out why these shallow relationships bring me so much pain. As much as I would love to be that friend that can look at somebody and say, okay, this is where you're at, I have actually surpassed that in my growth. You don't have the growth behind you to understand where I'm coming from right now and my mindset and my approach to things. So I have to meet you where you're at. As much as I would love to be that person, I am not. And I've realized like me trying to be that person when I'm just not there yet is like a big reason why I'm in so much pain from these relationships, because I don't have that separate space where I can fully grow, flourish, change, be deep, be emotional and intellectual to these vast levels, to where I can do all of that and then come back and say, okay, let's take a breather. I can meet you where you're at because I don't need to find fulfillment or validation in this relationship. I find it elsewhere. I find it within. At the end of the day, instead of taking the shallow relationship where my needs are not being met at all versus nothing, I would rather take nothing. And that's just who I am after several years of being okay being alone. I had a childhood friend ask me what I did to change and how, because I'm a very different person than I was when I was in a very conservative household. I know there are like some archetypal theories about how like there are some people who just want to change and grow as fast as possible, as much as possible, and see how good it gets, no matter what it takes. Go through hardship or have to be alone to do it. I am that person. You can get as spiritual with that as you want it to, but I don't think everybody has that drive. And I think I'm struggling to meet people who have that drive. I have never had a relationship to where I and this other person are growing and changing at the same time, at the same pace. If one person's up here and another person's down here, it's hard for them to meet in the middle because someone has to stoop and the other person has to stretch. And these are usually to uncomfortable levels for both parties. I have yet to meet somebody who wants to meet me where I'm at and where I want to meet them where they're at. And so I'd rather just be alone.